Good morning to all. So we are dealing with the dynamization. In the last chapter, we have discussed different potentization techniques adapted by different authors like Korsakov, Jenichen, and Bernhard Fink. So now we have to discuss some other authors like Thomas Skinner. So Thomas Skinner, educated in medicine at Edinburgh University, and he was a critic of homeopathy also. After becoming ill, he was treated by Edward Burridge, who had given him highly attenuated sulfur for complete recovery. So by this, he was an ardent believer of homeopathy, and later he developed a machine for potentizing homeopathic medicine that is known as Dr. Skinner's centesimal fluxion potentizer. And this machine, in which the water supply was used as the motive force for running the wheel. The machine held two potentizing bottles or wheels. Only one is used at a time. The water supply with the aid of stopcocks can be adjusted to fill 100 minims of water. One drop of the preparation will be left behind for further potentization. By controlling the flow of water, no difficulty in obtaining mathematical accuracy in the potencies. The machine could make 50 potencies. Skinner's original machine is now displayed at the Faculty of Homeopathy Library in London. And this is image of Dr. Thomas Skinner and the image of the Skinner's fluxion centesimal attenuator. And next authority is Samuel Swan. He also developed a particular machine just like Dr. Fink. Except that the water coming into the machine was fed through very accurate water meter. After the water passed through the meter, it ran through a tube that was closed at the end and perforated with the small holes, similar to the end of a watering can, causing disturbance more violent than succussion. Swan used fractional part of potencies and attenuated. He suggested that if 1 drop of tincture were used to make 1 potency, then 1/10th part of a drop of the 1 used to make 10. This method had to do the dilution of final potency rather than serial dilution. So Samuel Swan's method was highly useful in preparing high potency, but not the serial dilution from lower potency. And next, Leherman's potencies. The spiritual power of medicine is aroused by simple shaking without dilution, and additional potency is achieved for every 10 shakes. He took a bottle with the drug and little alcohol and gave shakings with intense force. 1 degree of increased potency for every 10 shakes. So there is no addition of potency at each level, each potency. Instead of it, he just combines the drug and vehicle and go on succussing 10 times for 1 potency, and giving 10 succussions for next potency, and this is going. And this is multiple or single vial potencies means. Actually, different methods of dynamizations are there. Different scales are there. The pharmaceutical way of preparing the potencies are by this process. multiple or single glass pot. That means the method of potentization given in the German homeopathic pharmacopoeia requires a new bottle or vial to be used for every stage of potentization, which is the original method developed by Hahnemann. It is known as Hahnemann's multiple vial method. So multiple vial or many glass method. That means for each potency, separate bottles and corks are used. So this is the method developed by Hahnemann. So this is recorded or displayed in the bottle or the labeling by adopting CH1, CH2, CH3 means centesimal Hahnemann 1, centesimal Hahnemann 2, centesimal Hahnemann 3, etc. And the single vial potencies are easier and cheaper to produce. So single glass method or single glass potencies or single vial potencies means all potencies are preparing by using the same bottle and cork. So we are preparing the medicine by adding one part of drug with the 9 or 99 in case of decimal or centesimal scale, and succussing 10 times, removing the 9 part from it and keeping 1 part inside, again adding 9 part and succussing 10 times, and this is going on. So that is why it is easier and cheaper to produce. The disadvantage is that they are less accurate. So less accurate means the reduction of medicine is not occurs accurately or promptly. So they are also known as Korsakoff potencies. As we have seen that Korsakoff developed a particular method of dynamization. So this is called Korsakoff potencies. This method is based on the fact that when a bottle is emptied, some of the fluid remains adherent to the walls. So due to the surface tension and other forces, some of the fluid remains adhering to the walls and adding to the further. So that is why it is less accurate. Hahnemann's method was still more accurate. Hahnemann mentioned that these potencies should be prepared by hand process. The hand process is suitable for preparing smaller quantities. The question of mechanical devices came up when shaking of large quantities of in big vessels became necessary. Practically, it is too hard to pursue that Hahnemann hand process in cases of higher and highest potencies that came up after Hahnemann. So that was very difficult to prepare in high potency. That is why instead of multiple glass method, single glass method developed by various firms. Next, we can pass on to the scientificity of homeopathy. How homeopathic medicines. Since you, as a pharmacy student, you know that the fraternization is a serial dilution in some other version. So in higher potencies, the concentration of basic drug material decreases. So even then, the homeopathic medicines act. So we have to explain in a brief manner how it works. The main principles of homeopathy are law of similia, law of single medicine, law of minimum dose, and doctrine of drug dynamization. So in the act of potentization, the medicine is diluted with lactose, purified water, or alcohol, and mixed by succussion or trituration. So in higher potencies, the concentration of the basic ingredients decreases. When prescribed according to pathology, again reduction occurs. So the prepared dynamized medicines are medicated in globules or sugar of milk. So where in 5 ml bottles, 60 or 65 small globules are there. It is medicated with 1 or 2 drops of medicine. So when this prescribed and dispensed according to posology, again reduction of that means maybe sometimes a divided dose. So that means a single dose may be mixed with a particular amount of sugar of milk and is divided, or it is 1 drop of medicine may be sometimes dissolved in 30 or 60 ml of purified water, and this may be taken at 4 or 8 or 12 times. So that means that much amount of reduction occurs. The probable explanations how homeopathic medicine is working. 1. All the sources of drugs are almost same in all systems of medicine. All of you know that the same sources of drugs are using in Ayurvedic medicine, homeopathic medicine, and sometimes the refined forms of the same medicine may be used in modern medicine also. So what is occurs? The manifold actions of potentized medicines are revealed through drug proving is utilizing homeopathy. That means the same medicine, if Rauwolfia, Serpentina, or Hydrocotyle, so all these are sometimes using in homeopathy as well as in Ayurveda. But sometimes the homeopathic materia medica mentions more symptoms than Ayurvedic materia medica or pharmacology because of the potentization. So the action of drug in all systems of human body can be seen through potentization. Then second reason, Justitia adaptoda. That is one single example. We can cite various examples. It is a drug used for cough and dyspnea in all systems of medicine. And that is again a medicine for cough and dyspnea in homeopathy also. Then trituration and succussion makes the molecules polar. So by repeated trituration succussion makes it polar. These polar molecules act as antigens producing antibodies. This antigenicity will cure diseases. Some sort of this action occurs when a drug is administered according to law of similia. That means a similia principle is assessing between the drug and the symptoms of patient. So that sometimes acts through this manner. And this is a particular law, Arndt-Schultz law. That's also we can see in modern medicine pharmacology textbooks. So according to this law, for every substance, the small doses stimulate, moderate doses inhibit, and larger doses kill. Since homeopathy medicines are small doses, definitely it will stimulate the human body or human systems, various physiological systems. Then W.E. Board conducted experiments on hydrolysis of starch with mercury chloride. He used different potencies of mercury chloride and found that higher potencies accelerated the diastase activity. Then another example, experiments on animals and human beings showed that low concentration of drugs that can produce a stimulatory effect. Then this is another theory that can be seen in various sites, or various authors have quoted this water memory theory for homeopathic drug action. In homeopathic medicine, the vehicle constitutes the only continuum between the low and high potency. Since the basic ingredients, its concentration is reducing to higher potencies, the only connecting link between a higher and a lower potency may be the vehicle. So it was proposed that the therapeutic activity lie in the structure of the vehicle in the form of specific arrangement of molecules. So that can happen when are potentized to add scales or higher grades or higher degrees by means of succussion. Then the latest development, research on nanoparticles. The Department of Chemical Engineering, IIT Mumbai, had conducted experiments with high potencies of homeopathic medicines from metals and minerals, found that the remnants of starting material, that is, the remnants of crude drug existing in high potencies. So they explained that the nanobubbles generated at the time of succussion absorbs the particles of starting material and rises to the surface and pass to the next vessel in further potentization. So this type of bubbles absorbed with this nanoparticles of starting material sometimes rises to the surface and sometimes attached to the sides of the vessel and pass to the next vessel at the time of potentization. So by this, our chapter dynamization is over, and we have through different classes explained the definitions of dynamization by Hahnemann and Stuart Close, the history of the development of the theory of dynamization, then the various scales of dynamization like decimal, centesimal, and 50 millisimal, and again 50 millisimal in detail. Then the process of dynamization, that is trituration and succussion. Trituration meant for solid medicaments and succussion meant for liquid drug substances, that is not insoluble in soluble in water and alcohol. And we have explained or described various authors. They have contributed to the theory of dynamization by developing various methods of dynamization, and a single glass as well as many glass methods, or single glass or multiple vial bottle potencies, and scientificity of homeopathy. And please go through it. So it is an extensive chapter, very unique to the system of homeopathy. Sometimes question may arise from different parts of this chapter. Very, very important. Please read it. This notes as well as various textbooks like Sumit Goyal, Saha, Banerjee, Mandal and Mandal. Sometimes you may need a reference from homeopathy pharmacopoeia also. So by this, our chapter dynamization is over. Thanks for